Somebody's championship dream is about to get wrecked tonight. Literally. Atlanta doesn't just host a race, it hunts drivers. And tonight, under the lights, 36 cars are about to find out exactly what that means. Because here's the truth, nobody wants to say out loud. At this track, being the fastest car doesn't matter if you're not in the right slipstream at the right second. One wrong move, one late push, and a championship contender goes from front runner to wall scraper in the blink of an eye. Tonight's the Quaker State 400, and it might be the most unpredictable night of the entire NASCAR season. Green flag drops at 7 p.m. on July 12th at Atlanta Motor Speedway, a 1.5-mile track that's been re-engineered to race like a super speedway. Ford is sitting pretty at the front. Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano locked up the top 2 starting spots, giving the manufacturer a statement front row. But then things get weird. Rows 3 through 7 are almost entirely Chevrolet. Kyle Larson, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman, and Chase Elliott all stacked up behind the Ford duo. And buried further back, a handful of names quietly put together speed nobody expected. Eric Jones at 11, Shane Van Gisbergen at 12, Hocevar at 14, Ty Dillon at 16. That's the lineup. Now let's talk about why it actually matters. To understand tonight, you have to understand what Atlanta has become. This isn't the Atlanta of 5 years ago. NASCAR reshaped this track into a drafting circus, tight racing, massive packs, and speeds that make even veteran drivers nervous on the radio. It races more like Daytona or Talladega than a standard intermediate oval. That changes everything about who can win. This is the 1 week on the counter where raw power alone doesn't guarantee anything. Elite teams like Team Penske and Hendrick Motorsports still bring superior cars, but a super speedway specialist who reads the draft perfectly can absolutely steal a trophy from a bigger name. That's not hope talking, that's history. Drivers like Michael McDowell have won exactly this kind of race before against exactly this kind of field. So when you see Ford dominating the front row, don't assume that translates to a win. And when you see Chevrolet loaded into the middle rows, don't assume they're buried either. Starting position at Atlanta is a suggestion, not a guarantee. The bigger story, though, is Toyota's absence from the top of this qualifying sheet. This is a manufacturer that's been suffocating the competition most of the season. Seeing them missing from the headline spots isn't a coincidence. It's a signal that Atlanta's chaos levels the field in ways a normal 1 point. 5-mile track simply does it. Here's where it gets interesting. Starting up front at Atlanta is a double-edged sword. Blaney and Logano get the advantage of clean air early, but clean air at this track doesn't last. The second the pack forms up behind them, they become targets. Every car in that draft is hunting the lead, and drafting logic says the leader is often the most vulnerable car on the track, not the safest. That's the strategic trap of super speedway style racing. You want the lead late. You don't necessarily want it with 50 laps to go. Now look at where Larson and Elliott are starting. Mid-pack isn't a disadvantage here. It might be the smartest seat in the building. It lets them read the field, pick their moment, and conserve their car instead of absorbing the target position all night. Hendrick knows this style of racing intimately. Expect their cars to methodically work forward in the final quarter of the race rather than force anything early. Then there's the wild card tier. Van Gisbergen, Jones, Hocevar, Ty Dillon. These are the names that make Atlanta must-watch television. None of them are true title threats this season. But all of them have shown they can read a draft, avoid the big one, and be perfectly positioned when chaos strikes in the final 10 laps. And chaos always strikes at Atlanta. The real question isn't who has the best car tonight. It's who avoids becoming a highlight reel wreck before it matters. At a track like this, survival is a skill, not a matter of luck. The drivers who understand pack dynamics, when to push, when to lift, when to fall back 3 spots to avoid a chain reaction, those are the drivers with a real shot regardless of where they started. Is aggressive super speedway style racing at a 1.5-mile track smart for the sport? Absolutely. If you're a fan craving unpredictability, is it dangerous for the drivers? Also absolutely. Those two things are not in conflict tonight. That tension is exactly why Atlanta delivers television nobody forgets. Fans are split right down the middle on this style of racing, and you're going to see that in the comments tonight. One half is thrilled. They live for the unpredictability, the pack racing, the sense that literally any car on that grid has a puncher's chance at victory lane. The other half is nervous. Veteran fans remember exactly how fast these races can turn ugly, and there's real anxiety anytime you cram this many cars this close together at these speeds. Media coverage tonight will likely swing hard depending on how the race unfolds. A clean green flag shootout gets praised as the best format on the schedule. One bad wreck involving a title contender and the format gets questioned all over again. That's the risk NASCAR accepted when they reshaped this track. It's the same risk that makes tonight appointment viewing. Let's talk about how this plays out. Best case scenario, we get a clean, hard-fought race where the draft stays respectful, the leaders trade the top spot all night, and it comes down to a photo finish between a big name and a surprise underdog. That's the version of Atlanta that gets replayed for years. Worst case scenario, a multi-car wreck collects a championship contender through no fault of their own, ends their night early, and throws playoff positioning into chaos with the postseason bearing down. Atlanta has done exactly that before, and it can do it again in a heartbeat. Given the layout of this spiel, don't be shocked if the winner isn't sitting in the top 5 right now. This track has a habit of rewriting the script late, so here's the question heading into tonight. Does Atlanta's chaos make NASCAR better, or does it put too much on the line for what's supposed to be a 1.5 mile track? Drop your prediction in the comments before the green flag drops. I want to see who you got winning this thing, favorite or long shot. And if you want race day breakdowns like this all season long, make sure you're subscribed to SportsWire USA, because tonight is just the beginning of a wild stretch of racing.